The Untold Truth About Money. In a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a man named Arjun. Arjun was neither wealthy nor poor, but lived a modest life as a farmer. He grew up watching his father toil under the sun, nurturing the earth with hope, yet he always struggled to make ends meet. The village people believed that money was the root of all happiness, and without it, a person could never truly be content. Arjun, however, wasn't so sure. He had seen how the obsession with money had driven his neighbors to forsake friendships, family, and even their peace of mind. Despite this, he felt an unspoken pressure to chase after wealth, as it was the standard measure of success in his village. He decided to set out on a journey to seek the truth about money, hoping it would bring clarity to his confused heart. Arjun's journey began in the nearby town, where he met a wealthy merchant named Ravi. Ravi was known throughout the region for his immense wealth, his mansion filled with treasures from distant lands, and his luxurious lifestyle. Arjun asked Ravi, "What is the secret to your wealth, and does it truly bring you happiness?" Ravi smiled, but there was a sadness in his eyes. He invited Arjun to his home, where they sat in a grand hall surrounded by priceless artifacts. "I have more wealth than I could have ever imagined," Ravi began, "but with it comes a burden. I live in constant fear of losing it, of being deceived by those I trust, and of never having enough. The more I have, the more I want, and the less satisfied I become." Arjun was puzzled. "Then why do people chase after wealth so relentlessly?" he asked. Ravi looked at him and replied, "Because they believe it will bring them happiness, security, and freedom. But in truth, money only magnifies who you are. If you are unhappy, it will make you more unhappy. If you are lonely, it will deepen your loneliness. If you are content, it can enhance your contentment, but only if you remember that money is a tool, not the goal." With this new perspective, Arjun continued his journey. He wandered into a remote forest where he encountered a wise old hermit named Suresh. Suresh lived in a small hut with no possessions to his name other than a few simple clothes and a well-worn mat. Despite his lack of material wealth, Suresh radiated a peacefulness that Arjun had never seen before. Intrigued, Arjun asked, "You have nothing, yet you seem so content. How is this possible?" Suresh smiled warmly and said, "I have everything I need. True wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of the heart. I have discovered that happiness comes from within, not from the accumulation of things. I have enough food to sustain me, a roof over my head, and a heart full of gratitude. That is all I need." Arjun was deeply moved by Suresh's words. He realized that he had been searching for answers in the wrong places. Money, he now understood, was neither good nor evil. It was a neutral force that could be used for great good or great harm, depending on how one chose to use it. Determined to share this newfound wisdom, Arjun returned to his village. He gathered the villagers and told them of his journey and the lessons he had learned. He spoke of the wealthy merchant who was trapped by his own riches and the hermit who had found contentment in simplicity. He urged them to reevaluate their relationship with money, to see it as a means to an end rather than the end itself. The villagers listened intently, and gradually, the atmosphere in the village began to change. People started helping each other more, sharing what they had, and finding joy in the simple things. They still worked hard and earned money, but they no longer allowed it to rule their lives. They discovered that true wealth came from the love and support of their community, the beauty of nature, and the peace that comes from within. As for Arjun, he returned to his farm with a renewed sense of purpose. He worked the land with gratitude, knowing that the fruits of his labor were enough to sustain him. He no longer felt the need to chase after wealth, for he had discovered the untold truth about money, that it is not the source of happiness, but merely a tool to help us build the life we want. And so, in that small village, a shift occurred. A shift from materialism to mindfulness, from greed to gratitude, and from the endless pursuit of wealth to the simple pursuit of a life well lived. And in that shift, the villagers found a kind of wealth that money could never buy, a wealth of the heart, mind, and spirit.